It is a day at school at some point after all of the crossovers. We are in the recently renamed Valley Public Schools Gymnasium, where the Necromon Dueling Club normally... Well, actually, no. I'm not running this club anymore. Neither of my NPCs. Ariel isn't around. Mr. Jimothy doesn't do shit. Hilda, where's the Necromon Dueling Club meeting right now?
Is it in the Gogurt Gymnasium?
We are meeting in a circle of pine trees out in the woods where there's a natural enclosure with a canopy, and we can make our own bootleg dueling arena out as nature intended. Unless it's too hot, in which case we are indeed in the gymnasium with the air conditioner turned all the way up.
I think at this moment it would be about winter, so...
Pine trees. These trees are really cool, aren't they? Look at these pine cones I found on the ground. And Hilda, just by virtue of excitedly wandering out here, just sort of has dragged the entire club into it.
Juniper is definitely just excited to go along. Juniper is actually genuinely excited about what you're excited about. Asking you questions about, like, this pine tree looks very, very interesting. I want you to tell me everything you know about it. Everything at all. Walnut, on the other hand, definitely is just as excited and definitely had no understanding of why you're out here. I see. Yes, there are. I've actually heard about this from Freddie. There are Mon that are similar to Ovicoda out there, but they take the form of pine cones.
Irene rolls her eyes. It's a juniper tree.
Hilda will, get it, but, 5 seconds too late, and then be like, oh!
Juniper's gonna actually poke around the corner and say, that's really funny! I just found a hawthorn!
Irene just goes beet red, and she squishes her lips together very tightly and doesn't say anything.
Hilda is concerned, but is not sure what is happening.
Yes! Trees! They grow here.
Nature's best friends, the trees.
I'm pretty sure my first Mon fusion happened under a tree like this. Mon fusion? It was Mod fusion.
Irene doesn't say anything, and she's very glad because she was about to try to bait Hilda into asking about Mon fusion.
No bait was necessary because Hilda is just like, wait, you can fuse your Necromon?
Yeah, well, I don't fuse them. No, all the work is the Mons. And they only really do it when they have a really good challenger, And she looks right at you, Irene.
Oh, Irene falls over a little bit. Just a little bit. And then, does a little, flail and brushes herself off, even though she didn't fall, and doesn't say anything.
I mean, you probably already know this, because you've been doing more stuff with the club than I have lately. But Irene's kind of the best Necromon trainer in the whole valley.
You didn't think Irene could get redder, and yet she does. I
guess technically we never did settle the final tournament, but that's not important.
She is not blushing anymore. Hilda, what do you mean it's not important?
I mean, the most important thing is that we have fun, right?
It is upcoming. It will happen. I will defeat you, but I have not done it yet because the duel has not happened, and it will be happening, and therefore it is important and will happen.
If I can narrate, I want to say that as Irene was saying this, she was stepping closer to Hilda, and you only just now noticed that, right in between the two of you are both Walnut and Juniper, really captivated by this.
Just the shot of the two of them, nose to nose almost, with Irene staring down at Hilda, but then, in between, facing directly into the camera, Walnut, Juniper just wide-eyed,
Yes! You are my rival. You have to.
Maybe.
I mean, Hilda's not very good at being a duelist rival. Which is fine. It's fine.
Excuse you.
Well, it's fine. It's fine.
She is very good at being a duelist rival, or I would not have chosen her for my duelist rival.
Now it's time for Hilda to blush and, like, shrink down into her shoulders.
I mean, well, some people maybe, I suppose, but...
I think we're getting off topic. Mon Fusion. Mon Fusion. Yes, Mon Fusion. That's what we were talking about.
Yes, Mon Fusion. So, Mon, they connect to, like, people with their souls. They, like, either connect to people or to cards or to, like, books or... And she motions to Booker, and then she motions down to her bag, but stops herself and says, other stuff.
Booker, having been spotted, slowly tries to hide the spoon he was about to try to stab Ovakoto with.
No!
I do kind of imagine Booker, like, seeming to hiss a little bit and, like, scuttling up into the tree.
It's terrifying.
He just likes to do that sometimes. He'll come down.
So, Mon can connect to people or to cards or to stuff, but they can also connect to each other. Well, it can't just happen at any time, though. So for fusion to happen, you have to have Mon who are really close, like really, really close. Mon who care about each other just as much as they care about their trainer. And then, just like how people do, just like how in a great moment of need, everyone always rallies together to make something better than they could before. Just like that, in a moment of great need, that's when you go from this, and she pulls out one of her cards, which has EO on it, and the other card, which has Goom on it, into this. And like a magician, she kind of claps her hands together, lifts out one palm, and you see Gumio, the fusion of Goom and EO.
I guess it's interesting.
It's really cool. I mean, no one we know has ever been able to do that, I think.
And now I want to take us back probably a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of days, just a while ago, back to the very, very busy day. The day Kike and Sparky thwarted but also aided some bandits. The day Hilda and Irene fought some Necromon hunters. And the day Irene's little Mon went on a very big adventure. Hello, guests and ghouls, and welcome to Quest Friends Hereafter, an improvised audio cartoon using the role-playing game A Familiar Problem. I'm Kyle, he, him, and today I, my 4 best friends, and some dice are going to tell you a story about Little Mon in the big city. All right, and then the order is Ari, Emily, Tom, Hallie. And I guess do your Mon. Maybe you could do your little stat. I'm Malaya, the crab who gets mad under pressure. There we go.
Well, you said it for me now.
Well, I can't.
This feels a little forced to do it this way.
Okay, just say your name.
I'm Ari, she, her.
Cool.
I play Malaya.
Cool. Yeah, okay.
I'm Emily. My pronouns are they, them. And I'm playing Booker, he, him.
I'm Tom, he, him, and I'm playing the Mossies, which I can't remember the Mossies' pronouns. I don't remember.
Aren't the Mossies they plural?
Because there's several Mossies, like a Doug trio.
I think that makes sense. It's just been so long, I don't remember.
Yeah, I also don't know what Malaya. I think it's it or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I knew that one.
Okay. No, guys, I got this. Okay, Malaya. He, it's, Mossies, they, them, plural, Pokio, they, them, Boidelrat, she, it's.
Yes.
So, Hallie, who are you and who are you playing today?
I'm Hallie, and I'm she, her, and I'm playing Pokio, and Pokio's they, them. Do I win? Do I get a gold star?
I like that every time you
For the
said
good noodle board?
a part of the phrase, your head got closer to your shoulders.
I'm like a turtle. I'm getting into character, even though Pokio is not a turtle.
So, today, we're playing A Familiar Problem by Marisha Ray and Grant Howitt, but I'm going to explain the rules later because, well, today we kind of just get to get right into it. There's no previously on, there's no slice of life complication. There is just an unnervingly sleepy, quiet morning. Ever since she came into the house, every morning at Irene's has been so loud and hectic and chaotic. But today, you don't hear anything except for the muffled sounds of Irene and the other big people from the door outside the bedroom.
Holy cool. It's Pokio's responsibility to investigate this matter. If, things aren't normal, that's their job to make things normal.
The Mossies are sleepy and they don't want to move. They're in the pocket of a pair of corduroy overalls that's hanging up somewhere.
That's where you sleep at night?
It's where the Mossies are right now. They would alternate between, I think, a couple different places, including a windowsill flower pot just rolling around on Irene's bed and getting into pockets of clothing.
What is Malaya up to?
He is interested on the mystery, but is too amped up for a potential altercation, and so he is practicing punching by punching a laundry bag of Irene's.
By amped up by a potential confrontation, do you mean because things are weird or just ready to fight at all times?
Yes.
All right, so Malaya is just punching stuff. Mossies are sleeping, but Pokio, you get closer to the door and you can hear some muffled voices from the other side.
How does opening the door go for me?
You are small.
Yeah, my question stands.
In A Familiar Problem, you have 4 stats that you use and you roll a 10-sided dice. These stats are clever, how well you understand people, fierce, which I have written down biting and stuff, sly, which is hide, lie, sneak, or disguise, and then quick, climb, gotta be fast, stuff like that. You're gonna roll a 10-sided dice, you're gonna take the results of that plus your dice, and depending on how difficult this is, you have to roll equal to or higher than a value I set. So I'm going to start easy. And by that, I mean, it's not going to be easy. It's actually going to be standard. It's going to be a standard difficulty to open a door. So you have to roll a 6 or higher.
Okay. And then do I get plus whatever my thing is?
Yeah, you get plus clever. We're going to go with clever because you have to understand people. And in this case, you're understanding doors.
Yay. I got an 8.
Okay.
Pokio's good at doors.
Yeah, how does Pokio remember how people open doors, which is a very weird... Every additional word I said in that sentence felt weirder than the last.
I imagine Pokio has seen Irene open doors many a time, and because Pokio is that shitty straight-A student who everyone knows is a straight-A student, Pokio has observed many impressive things that Irene has done, which, to Pokio, who is small, includes opening doors. So, to the best extent they can, they will mimic Irene. I do not know what this looks like, but, Pokio, climbs up a little, desk or something that's, near the door, and then manages to get up there, thinking about how, sometimes, Irene, they've probably seen Irene struggle from time to time, and, that just makes it okay for Pokio to struggle.
I've never struggled.
So Pokio, spits on their little hands, and then rubs them together, and then opens the door. The way you do before a strenuous task.
Yeah. Pokio, you are immediately consumed by a tidal wave of confetti.
Pokio! I come!
Please, Swarm.
Yes, I knew it! Some danger!
You fucking get that confetti.
He's running towards the scream.
The Mossies are just big mad that anyone woke them up.
I told you, Stella. That is way too much confetti. Nah, I'm just saying, like, if we put enough confetti around for Lil Sis's 13th birthday, it'd be like a new kind of floor. Like a soft floor. Like, you know, those, like, ball pits that are super cool. Stella, ixnay on the ball pit, eh? You know that was, you know, one of the things during Irene's very intense time.
Her what?
Her very intense time, the events of the past year.
Oh.
Like Alexander's no good, very bad day, but just Irene's very intense time.
Listen, Mr. Elmo didn't accuse her of murder, all right? That was, we don't say the E word. That was Leah. That doesn't have an E in it. Stella, I'll scoop up the confetti. And yeah, this ghost sister, the wispy, really thin, gangly one, even by like Tiny Mon standards, you can see is starting to pick up some of the confetti that is spilled into your room.
Oi, cop. Pokio's doing the, like, pointing at the mess. Like, clean this up now, even though Stella already is, and Pokio has not contributed to this. This is Pokio's victory.
Right, little dude? I think it's festive too. Here, have a little bit on the house. And she picks up some of the confetti and like throws it on top of you. What are the other two Mon up to?
Well, Malaya was running towards the commotion.
I think Malaya's just about to Kool-Aid Man into this confetti.
Yeah.
Would Malaya want to stop when seeing Stella, or would he just keep barreling?
I think he would try to stop, but like, I don't know if that would be effective.
Yeah, so you're gonna give me a roll, and it's gonna have two difficulties. So the first one is gonna be a difficulty of getting there in time. That's gonna be a 4, that's easy. But then there's gonna be a roll to stop, and that's gonna be an 8. That's gonna be challenging. And we're gonna use quick. We're not gonna use fierce, because it's all about Malaya springing into action. Even though it was in an aggressive way. In my notes, quick is literally climb and be fast.
Yeah, that makes sense to me too. To get there, I got a 6, and then I got a 3 to stop.
Oh dear.
Mossies, you're in your little, like, pocket, right?
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, it's you and some confetti in the pocket. Because Malaya charges through, trips Stella, which is impressive because a lot of the time she doesn't have legs, just a wispy, ghostly bottom. And Stella tumbles over, falling into the confetti, which then spreads even more across the room.
The Mossies are going to angrily roll out of the pocket and just slide down to the floor and roll around like Zom.
Crying.
Stella's still not getting his be like, all right, little dude? Yeah, you want to party in the confetti too? I don't think they want to party, Stella. Aubrey. He comes and he picks you up, Malaya.
No, Malaya does not like that. He only likes being picked up by Irene, so he would be squirming like, oh.
You try your hardest, but Aubrey knows his stuff, so he's still like holding on to you as he goes around to grab the Mossies as well to just get them out of this catastrophe area.
Zom.
She sets you down and brushes you off. All right, is that better?
Trying to cross his arms.
I'm sorry about Stella. Little creatures, not dudes. Little dudes can be little creatures as much as they want. All right, we have a lot to set up for this birthday party. So yeah, just watch the minefield of confetti. And Aubrey walks off and says, "Oh, and the confetti mines too.
Oh.
They're different things."
I call.
Zom.
Pokio whips out a surveyor's map from nowhere and goes to town to write down the locations of the mines.
Malaya is looking over Pokio's shoulder, like,
Yes, good.
It's unclear whether the Mossies are blaming Pokio for this or demanding Pokio do something to fix it, but they all, like, circle around Pokio and are just like slowly rolling into Pokio, just booping in, going, see, Psalm, see, Psalm, just bump, 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 bump from every side, every angle. Psalm, see, Psalm.
That's the sounds of Pokio having their space invaded while they try to label the surveyor's map with just scribbles. Like, Pokio can't write, but, you know.
I'm not even going to let you roll clever for that.
No, it doesn't. It's a useless map.
It's a useless map.
Very bad, but they made it.
All right, so you are in this hallway that literally has the floor entirely covered in confetti. We're in a pretty modest one-story home. You know, really tacky wallpaper. We're going to say it has a recurring pattern of like a Necromon on it, but not like a cool one.
Like whatever the Pidgey equivalent is.
Yeah, like birds or Legge, the equivalent of like a whale. Not like a cool one, but like, you know, in either case, you're in a pretty cramped hallway with a couple of doors going off. Specifically, you've got, let's say 3. You've got Irene's room, you've got Earl's room, and then you've got Earl's home office for like his home projects that he never actually used and has now been repurposed into a space for Stella and Aubrey. So that's on one way, and then on the other side is the kitchen / dining room / living room / the room. The room that is not a bedroom.
Pokio starts tiptoeing across the confetti-strewn floor, keeping a careful eye for confetti mines as they go to see what is the hubbub in the room that is not the bedroom.
Malaya also wants to look what is going on over there.
The Mossies are also rolling along because they are part of this now.
They're ruining all of Pokio's stealth, and Pokio's pissed about it.
The Mossies are so quiet.
Malaya is stepping right where Pokio is stepping, but not like right after. He's doing it like at the same time as Pokio is stepping. Malaya!
The Mossies roll past both of them.
Tom, I want you to roll me Sly, and it's going to be a difficulty of 6.
Oh, I think that's a lose. Oh, dear. Oh, no. No, that's a 4.
All right, so when you roll poorly on what is considered a dangerous thing, you don't lose health points, you instead gain stress. And if you ever roll equal to or lower than your stress, you have a break in teamwork. You essentially start being very selfish.
Oh, dear.
Pokio and Malaya, as you're fighting, just some more confetti hits your face as the Mossies land on one of the confetti mines and just shoot in all directions in the hallway.
How much stress do I have now?
Just one stress.
Cool, 1 stress.
All right, so you reassemble yourselves, you get back together, and this time you actually make it to the room. And from inside, Earl is talking with a very upset-sounding Irene. Don't you have that fun field trip today?
I'm going to be late. I thought that I would have found Boidelrat by now.
So?
Well,
The Boidelrat? Is that? Oh, that's the new one, right?
Yes. What if she is lost?
Well,
She is not very smart.
But you are, kiddo, and I'm sure that she's learned a thing or two from you.
Okay, let's go, I guess. Can you leave the dog door open, please? Just in case.
Of course, kid. I always remember to leave it open. And we're going to say that there's a little dog door, but its hinges have fully fallen off. Like, Earl literally cannot close it. It is impossible for him to do so.
Exquisite.
All right, let's get you to school, huh? Stella! Aubrey! It's school time for Irene. Come on, let's all go as a family.
I'm fine. Irene stomps off.
Why, Irene? And the door opens once and then shuts, and then opens a second time and shuts, but a lot more gently the second time. And it is silent in the room.
Psalm?
Well,
It has not occurred to Pokio that Boidelrat wasn't there until this moment.
The Mossies just look over at where Boidelrat would be, and I'm imagining like that cartoon blinking outline of no Boidelrat there. Psalm!
Malaya is starting to like look under things, but like where it's like obviously Boidelrat wouldn't be, picking up like a piece of paper, like maybe it's here.
My first thought was like there's a chair in the corner of the room and you're small enough that you can fit under the chair, but you pick it up anyway to look underneath it.
Oh, that too. Yes, I also do that.
Nothing. She's not here. You can't hear, smell, or see her, which are usually the three senses that you experience Boidelrat in the order in which you experience them.
Malaya will turn to Pokio, just being like,
I up.
and then to like the bossy is just like, lamb.
See Psalm.
I up.
Pokio is fully about to do a shrug and turn around and go back to the bedroom, but then they see more of the confetti, and I imagine some little, like, happy birthday streamers or something in the kitchen, like an overbearing, like, not an overbearing parent, but like a parent doing their best to throw their child a birthday party.
Well, I mean, an overbearing parent and Stella, the greatest artist the here and the hereafter has ever
And
known.
Stella. So Pokio sees all the decorations and then looks down at their little confetti minefield map, and then has a brilliant idea and repurposes it into a find Boidelrat map, and like draws like X, and then a little line, and then another X, and that X means Boidelrat, that second one, and then flips it around and shows it to Malaya and the Mossies.
The Mossies are just like jumping up and down, bouncing like, see Psalm.
And Pokio, looking at the confetti, Malaya would be like, Leom! And then start like grabbing confetti and try to put it on the shape of Boidelrat. Because that would be the plan B, is to make a confetti figure of Boidelrat to replace the right one.
Oh no!
Okay, see, at first I was like, Pokio's gonna shoot that one down to be like, no, we find. But then I thought Malaya was like, yeah, Boidelrat.
You're such good communicators.
We Psalm. The Mossies just start rolling towards the dog door.
Malaya will follow them, but will also grab all the confetti he can in order to make that plan B if needed.
And the adventure begins for part 1 of 3 of Little Mon, Big City. If you're enjoying the fun little adventure we're doing today, you can get a familiar problem for yourself for free by checking it out in the description below. And down there, you can also find Makeshift Stories. Makeshift Stories is a sci-fi, fantasy, and speculative fiction podcast for all ages. Twice a month, buckle up for a new epic journey through possible futures, space, alternate realities, and beyond. Take the fun, long-form sci-fi shenanigans of Quest Friends Season 1, but have them still happening, and you got Makeshift Stories. Makeshift Stories is available wherever you listen to audio, or head over to makeshiftstories.com. Tune in and let your imagination soar. One last thing before we continue. So I'm updating our website because, to be frank, I hate our current host. And one of the things that I'd really love for my new website is a bunch of new reviews to showcase. So if you haven't already, whatever podcasting app you're on, I would really love it if you could just go in, give a quick review, and if you could write a couple of words about what you like about Quest Friends. Really, I'm focusing on Apple Podcast reviews, but any app is fine. Now, podcasters say that this helps grow them, and technically it doesn't, but having current reviews is a great way of showing prospective listeners that, hey, this is something that people still like, and that this is something that I might enjoy too. So if you love Quest Friends, and if you're listening, I hope you do, that's one of the easiest ways to get other people to love Quest Friends as well. All right, that's all I've got for you today. Our next episode will be Little Mon Big City Part 2. But if you'd like additional podcast short stories or video outtakes, you can find them at patreon.com/questfriends. I'll see you there. Taladoid. 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 You all hear a bunch of sad skeleton possums without a single trash on their bones
Oh no. Not the babies.
wander mournfully around a clean, opaque lake with a white mist, calling out for their father.
Father!
I don't know how you all found your way to Rasputin's cave from episode 1, but you made it here. In fact, everyone will roll me a 1d10 except for Emily.
10.
8!
2.
It took you 10 hours to get here.
No.
To get just to Rasputin's cave.
A journey of many, many miles.
A journey of many miles based on memory from a long time ago.
We just wandered up into the mountains.
You were never there. You never were in his cave.
Oh my god, Irene wasn't.
We weren't here.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
We just wandered into the hills.
Good for us. We followed all the sad Boidelrats going to search for their father. You know the scene in Detective Pikachu when all the Bulbasaur come out and they take Detective Pikachu to like the magic healing spot? Like that's us following all the Boidelrats to where Rasputin no longer is, but instead of a healing spot, it's a crying spot.
Yeah, so this place, again, is a cave. It is much more temperate than the desert. Actually, temperate isn't even the right word. It's more like the rainforest in here. Thick, knotted, dripping wet trees with lines of mist going through them like rivers. The Boidelrat are just all over the place, but you notice that they are converging somewhere down one of the passageways in the cave. What do you do now?
The cave beckons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mossies long to journey deep into this cold, dank spot and then just find a rock and sit there for a while.
You end up going down the cave and you find yourself in a place that's actually really nice.
Ooh.
Normally, I would have described Rasputin's cave as your grandma's house, but garbage. There's a little garbage home sweet home sign. There's a little garbage dog bed. And his throne that he spoke to the main characters from is a throne / lounge chair / mound of garbage. But by this point, it has been picked clean by these Boidelrat looking for things to put on. It is immaculate. It is empty, really. The trash is gone, but it's not just like your grandma's home now. Now it's like your grandma's home having been cleared out. Something empty and sad with it. The only few things you can see is you can see a wooden board labeled Secret Mask. Don't let anyone get it. Please, Rasputin, stop offering it. And then he starts yelling at himself, being like, hey, you try controlling yourself. I do try controlling myself. Just a bunch of scribbles of him fighting with himself. But you can see there's this place where this mask could have been, but it's not there anymore. And you know it's where the mask is because it's the only part of the board that isn't covered up by this scribbling text of him fighting with himself saying, don't let anyone get the mask.
It's like an outline.
Yeah. You also definitely see the Boidelrat have taken everything except for a few bits of paper outlining in meticulous detail exactly how Rasputin planned to commit tax evasion.
God bless.
Because that is why he was arrested in episode 1, for those who have forgotten. It was not for any of the crimes against you.
Pokio does not have pockets. However, I would like to take the small scraps of paper that detail how to commit tax evasion.
For research for yourself?
For, maybe Irene wants it. I don't know. Like,
Malaya will allow you to store it on his hat.
yes!
The Mossies have already rolled off because this cave feels so nice. Like, oh, caves, what? It's so damp and cool here. They just want to, like, sit in, like, the glistening dew on the rocks and just soak it up. They are a little distracted right now. But they're trying to pull themselves together. Like, one Mossy will, like, nip the others, and they'll be like, Psalm.
Pokio is sweeping up all those little scraps of tax evasion paper, and then will gently lob it up to Malaya's head. Aika!
Well,
And when you two finish doing that, you can see that the Mossies are fighting with each other on top of a tome. Not a book, but a tome.
lay on.
Something that emanates dark, sinister energy and has a little sticky note taped to it.
Lay on. Malaya can't read, so I don't know what this sticky note says. But
I'm not sure that Pokio can read either, come to think of it.
The Mossies begin nibbling on the sticky note.
I want each of you to roll me a clever. Just do it as a group. I want to see who's the one who figures this out.
I do want Malaya to take the sticky note and put it on top of his hat too.
5
You have the sticky note now.
plus 2, 7.
4?
Clever? Oh no. I rolled a 1.
So I want you to take one stress, Ari. I wasn't going to give it to you, but you said something that was impactful. Pokio, you can't read. But that's okay, because Boidelrat can't write.
like
An unstoppable force meets an immovable object.
You see a little map that most people couldn't read, but it looks exactly like the kind you made.
oh my god.
And it says something like Big Dead City. There's a map of Big Dead City, and hastily drawn, you can see there's a series of things like meet contact here, father is here, just notes about like what the plan of attack is, and really useful information. And then Malaya picks it up and stamps it on its hat.
Oh Well, Malaya will throw the sticky note and the tax evasion papers at Pokio. Like, fine, you want these papers now?
Directly in the face, and Pokio has to
Yeah,
live.
directly. Yeah. Well.
I cop.
Mm-hmm.
I cop.
Mm-hmm.
I cop.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Mossies, you've noticed that when Malaya went and picked up the sticky note, that something jostled on this tome, and that this dark, smoke-like magic starts moving through the grooves of this tome.
The Mossies are going to do the closest that they can to like a squint, being that they do not have eyes, just like wrinkling up the top half of their things, like, whoa, and like do a little sniff of this book, like,
Sniff, sniff, boom! All of you are caught in a massive explosion, and you hear rambling, spells of dark magics. Spread my magical power. Spread it among those who wish good things. Those who are small but mighty, but it is but the smallest of things that can do the mightiest of processes. I read that in a book once, and I shall make it true. Be you Boidelrat or other kind of Boidelrat, I, Rasputin, give you my power! And this message from the tome shoots you, and all of you feel as dark, magical energy surrounds you and starts seeping into your skin, going underneath, some way attaching itself to you. And here's where we get to the next part of this game. In the game of Familiar Problem, each character has 3 pieces of pocket magic that they can use. You're able to use these magical spells once per session, so just once for the entire adventure. So I need each of you to roll a 1d12
Oh dear.
3 times.
Oh, that's
Oh, we don't get to choose. That's funnier.
fun. Yeah.
That's way better.
5, 6, and 7.
You get Ignite Fire, Limited Invisibility, and Mist.
Okay, I like this.
Kyle from the future, Ari also gets Summon Horse because in future episodes we forget her spells, and so I had her re-roll, and she got Summon Horse too, and I didn't have the heart to undo that once I got the list of original spells.
Yes, I got the one I was gonna take. I got Door Magic, from all that skill opening doors. And I got Summon Hole, and I got Wizard Digits.
I wanted Wizard Digits so badly.
Yes.
The Mossies just wanted fingers.
For once in their lives.
If the Mossies see Pokio use Wizard Digits, they're going to be so angry. Anyway, I got 1, 6, and 8, so Butterfingers, Limited Invisibility, and Soak. I can conjure a bucket full of water, bucket not included.
You feel this evil, sinister, dark magic overwhelm you as the ghostly smoke explosion goes higher. And from the outside, what we would just see is a little pff that barely covers the Mon and then falls to the side. And you're all back in the cave.
And his eyes will look like little flames, like anime style, yes.
See some. The Mossies start rolling around in circles around everybody.
Yeah, it feels, I don't know how it feels. I imagine it feels good, but you can feel that you have temporarily been given magical powers. Where to from here, gang?
What are all the Boidelrats in here doing? Are they just still circling the pond?
So most of them, you can see are going around the water. Some of them are walking in and walking out. And as they walk into the lake, their outside turns a misty white and strings of blue light become the majority of their form.
Poor babies.
Mossies are going to roll into Pokio, roll into the map, and then roll at the Boidelrats. See some.
A lamb! I will once again misinterpret the information
Oh no.
and be like, yes, any Boidelrat will suffice, and try to
No.
A lamb!
The Mossies will just start biting the feet of Malaya.
Malaya, roll me quick.
Okay. Quick. That's probably not good. That is a 3.
They are surprisingly fast. And I'm going to say most of them start running off into the middle of the lake.
The Mossies are going to start trying to roll into shove Pokio and Malaya. Som. Gestures at the pool and the Boidelrats.
Pokio doesn't understand the lake. Will lake evaporate us to city is what Pokio was trying to get at. Or will it just evaporate us to place we don't want to go?
The Mossies shrug.
Leia will tentatively touch the lake with
You put your finger in the lake or your nubbin.
Yeah.
And it's like a train map is uploaded directly into your brain. There are so many places this lake can take you.
Try to grab Pokio's map to add more information to the map.
So I thought you were gonna grab Pokio and just dunk their head in.
Pokio is looking at the Malaya map, and Pokio was feeling more powerful than they ever have before on account of the dark magic. So they're gonna and this time they're pushing the Mossies toward the lake a little bit.
The Mossies will roll into the lake.
Malaya will also slowly get inside.
You This feels like home. It feels rejuvenating. It feels very powerful, similar to how it felt in some of those Necromon arenas that you would battle in.
Maliam!
If we were watching, we would see you as you get deeper into it, turning into the mist and then the strings of light that vaguely show your form.
Maliam!
But to you, it feels more like the ground underneath you gets lighter. Like, first you're walking in water on ground, then you're walking on marshmallows, and then eventually you're steadily free-falling through the air. But not like in a scary way, more of you walking down a staircase, but there's nothing underneath you.
That sounds like falling.
It's all the same to the Mossies because they only go downstairs by just rolling uncontrollably down them.
It's so colorful. Not only because the color of the space around you, but because of the way it refracts and interlocks with the many, many rivers that you're able to see. What you see around you look like waterfalls in a nebula. A series of rivers moving every which way, some down, some up, left, right, in a squiggly line. The pretzel, for a second, the space you're on, it looks like it's going to be a waterfall and like you're gonna free fall, but then your sense of gravity shifts forward so that instead of being a waterfall, it's now a river, steadily moving you forward. This is a small river. It's about the size of the lake, but you can see that it is still tiny compared to the other ones you see. There are massive rivers, kilometers wide, with giant coffins going across them. Just like how a nebula or a cloud, you can vaguely imagine shapes. There are condensed pockets of color that have matching patterns, and as you get closer to these condensed pockets, you can steadily see what look to be worlds almost, what look to be different layers of existence. You see a gumdrop kingdom. One is just a haunted mansion, but a big haunted mansion. Various different places, and you notice that the big rivers never enter here. Only the small ones have access. The big rivers are always blocked off. In many cases, artificially so. But you're not interested in that space. Instead, you're interested in where all the rivers lead. High above them, you can see this network of rivers congeal into a giant pool on top of the brightest series of lights of them all. In the bustling undead streets of Necropolis, there is a wight. Wight are people who died unlucky. They constantly keep the scars of every injury, but they always bounce back. So we see this very tired wight with a blue suit coat eating a bowl of burger ramen as he's just waiting for the street light to go. In the city of Necropolis, the light turns from a red gloop, which is just a little glob person,
Just a gloop.
to a speeding green fury. And the light is so bright because there's so many bright lights here, and a voice screams, "Go! For the love of God, run! Do it now! Go!" And this wight is briskly walking across, and right as his feet cross above one of the manholes, he hears beneath him a muffled but fierce as the manhole cover beneath him is hit by the fist of a tiny angry Necromon and rockets him high into the air.
Oh no.
Liam!
And all of you poke your heads out of the manhole and you see the big dead city. People are moving, people are hustling. In the city of Necropolis, you can see, as I said, a Fury speeding across, carrying a whip and screaming, "I'm gonna get you this time!" at a poor Gloop who is just desperately rolling over and over again, trying to flee. two skeletons bump into each other. One has a big red bow, and all of their bones fall to the ground. But as they reach down to pick up their hands, their other hands touch, and they look at each other in their sunken, hollowless eyes.
God.
What are their names? I'm gonna ship them forever.
In the corner, an oily
What are their names,
birdman
Kyle?
holding a giant banner
Their names!
screams, "It will return! The bubonic plague shall come back, and it shall get you like it got me!" And all of these people, we see them in between Love Bug Volkswagen vehicles, VW vans with catacomb aesthetic to them, and Model T cars. Also, the subway is still on fire.
Wait. Oh. Pokio's just looking back and forth in circles.
Malaya is looking between the map and the CD, and then the map again, and then the CD again.
Yeah, the Mousies just nudge Pokio. Psalm.
I cop.
Like, bites and pulls on the map and is like, Psalm.
Pokio just, like, uncharacteristically not, I don't want to say taking charge, but, like, they don't usually soak it in. They've got an agenda, and this time they're just like...
Looking like a lost tourist.
Yeah, looking like that.
Well, you must be careful there, little one. If you're not careful, you're gonna start looking like a sucker like me. First I lost my wife in the divorce, and then I lost all of my money. Why?
What the fuck, Kyle?
You see...
I cast Soak.
Oi.
What's your goal with casting Soak?
To soak him. I'm casting Soak. I'm summoning a bucket of water minus the bucket above his head. The water falls on him. He is soaked. And then the Mousies are going to roll away screaming.
What are the rest of you gonna do?
Oh, Pokio is so fascinated by this fast-talking stranger.
Malaya runs to punch him.
Okay,
Pokio will let that happen.
Ari, I want you to roll me fierce for punching this water-soaked man.
I rolled a dirty 10.
Jesus Christ.
Nice!
So this tap dancing street hustler looking guy is talking to you.
I am your singing telegram.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you about my woes. It's been a real bad year for me. And then the water bucket hits on his head. It's like
Raindrops keep falling on my head.
On my head.
falling on my head, and only my head because it seems I've pissed off Bite or some other power that be dead, and he gets punched in the face.
I love him.
How do you attack him, Malaya?
Just like by jumping and like throwing a punch, but like I know Malaya is pretty small, so wherever that goes, like it probably is at his like shin or something. Or it could be also his toe. Like, you know how painful it is when you like hit the corner of a bed?
He's lost his wife, he's lost his money, and now he's lost a toe. We see the fucking sound barrier break as this hustler just gets rocketed off into we're gonna say into that fury that I had randomly mentioned earlier with the whip. Both of them get knocked into the wall, but you see as the whip surrounds this guy and throws him to the side, and this fury, who I'm gonna say is dressed, let's go with weird, comical sexy. So like she's in a one-piece leather bathing suit vest style thing that zippered shut, but only at the very top and the very bottom. So she doesn't have like a boob window, she has a full body window. The Fury steps out, extends her massive wings, and says, "Who did that?"
The Mousies are currently hiding in like the very edge of like a drain pipe, you know, just like, ooh.
Malaya has turned invisible and is standing very still.
And Pokio's just in the middle of the street, aren't you?
I sure am.
Was it you? My back was turned. You threw a man into my back.
Cop.
Which is just as bad a betrayal as stabbing someone.
Cop.
The whip extends out.
I summon a hole. It's not for me, it's for him. Call a hole, but not for me! Because I would like this Fury to just fall through a hole that I summoned from nowhere. It's not even the manhole, it's just one that opens up next to it.
I don't want to say no, but I did make a point of describing her giant wings. So you open up a hole
you got
underneath,
me there.
and I'm gonna give you a stress for that.
There's like a few seconds of falling. Like the Fury's gonna fall for a little bit. Like maybe even get stuck. You never know.
You got me there.
That is true. I don't know what's funnier though, falling down the hole and attacking, or the hole opens up down the hole. That's it! Now the barbed whip. Multiple strands are coming out of the hole, like long claws reaching out from underneath.
Butterfingers. And the Mossies will use this opportunity to roll out and just start leaping on the Fury and biting. We chose violence today.
Yeah, we sure did.
I love that you only get 3 spells.
And we've used half of them.
We've already used half of our repertoire.
You've used half of them on the traffic light.
Yeah.
On an unnamed Fury.
We've been in the city for 10 seconds.
We see a zombie going to work. He's sick of work. Just like he was in life.
He's Squidward.
He's got a long face in every way. And he walks with his little briefcase. And he hears a murmuring, should someone call the Undertakers? What, and deal with the Rons? Absolutely not. And he looks to the side as a bunch of Necromon just start kicking the shit out of this Fury who's got her heads covered. He's like, no, stop.
I come.
And his watch beeps for his job, and he looks forward and pays it no more mind and continues his way in the city.
Yeah.
Stop it! Ah!
I cup.
Man, I gotta get out of this city. The very scary Fury says, looking at you.
The 3 adorable plant-themed Necromon.
Well,
I cup.
I don't understand what you're saying.
The Mossies are just gumming on the Fury still.
It's so uncomfortable. All right, I'll leave you alone. Okay? God.
No.
And the Fury scrambles away.
No. Thank God.
The Mossies will detach.
Pokio, being the competent little leader they are, is very embarrassed about that whole thing because their plan with the hole wasn't good because the Fury had wings. And then the Mossies had to save them. So, I'm
assuming Malaya does not realize its culpability in this at all.
No.
Oh, and Pokio was fully willing to throw Malaya under the bus is the thing. Like they were pointing at Malaya when they were like, who did this?
That might be literal soon, though, because after the world's longest traffic light ends, traffic is going to start coming soon, and they will not stop for 3 mon.
But before the traffic comes, Pokio gets a little furrow in their brow, signaling how upset and embarrassed they are, and they scuff the little ground with their like little foot, and then turns to the Mossies and is like,
Well,
The Mossies just like flatten out a little bit and shrink. Sees home.
Leia will like poke you, like, are you okay, friend?
The Mossies will also crowd around and like hug by leaning into Pokio's legs.
Leia will just put a pat as a demonstration that he is sorry.
Pokio will bristle at first because this is not their thing and they're a small cactus. But because they went out of their way to say thank you, and because the city is scary, like they were so overwhelmed when they popped out of that manhole, and then this Fury was mad at them, and then they had to fight, and now they had dark magic. And so Pokio, being out of their element a little bit, is more receptive to this show of affection than perhaps they would be at any other time in their life. So they have a heartwarming moment together before the traffic comes.
And then the traffic comes. Since you specified you're in the street, I need all of you to roll quick.
Oh god. Oh no. 3.
Oh, I got an 8.
I rolled a fucking 5. I've not rolled above a 4 this entire game.
I'm rolling great.
So, Malaya and Mossies, both out of stress. Pokio, you notice the car coming, but the other two do not.
Bet you wished you had a hole.
I know, I do wish I had a hole. I don't have that anymore. And light telekinesis is not really gonna help against a bus. So, I'm just gonna push. I'm just pushing them. I'm pushing the big Malaya and the Mossies, which are many, off of the street in a cartoonish panic.
Malaya! Malaya will try to also get Pokio out of the way.
You're fighting so much, and it seems like time slows down, which is strange because this car is so fast. But you end up making it out of the street just in time. In reality, in real time, there was a little puttering Model T car that was moving at like 5 miles an hour.
That's so cute.
And as you get off, all the other cars just speed past this car
That's so cute.
that continues slowly puttering forward.
Like the Mickey Mouse jalopy.
Yeah.
Oh god.
All right, you are off the street. You are alive. Oh,
Malaya!
please home.
The Mossies will once again shiver and huddle close to Pokio.
Malaya will hug everybody together.
We resume our cute little Necromon huddle, where we're bonding over life and death experiences.
So you're huddling. Do you take a look at the map?
Yes. Yeah.
They shake it out.
Mm-hmm.
The way you do with maps.
You realize, you look around, you analyze the map, you figure it out, you analyze every detail.
Yeah.
The map was on a fucking post-it note. It shows like 1 block, and as you look around, you can only see 1 block's worth of this city, but you have a feeling it is a lot more than 1 block big.
But is it... What if all we need is this 1 block? Boidelrat it's a non-zero chance Boidelrat is on this block. You know, that's statistically a possibility.
Roll me clever.
Clever! Oh, that's my lowest roll yet. I got a 4 + 2, 6.
Yeah, you don't get it.
Dang it.
There's like a circle, there's some other stuff, but it's not enough. It's not enough. You're not gonna find Boidelrat. You're never gonna find Boidelrat.
Liam.
Well, no need to cry over that, little friendo.
Liam.
Psalm.
Oh dang! Maybe you do need to cry. You guys are you're performers too. Well, why are you going to the globe? And this taller figure, who I can only describe as Periwinkle Ska, with a knot tip or a snake cat on his shoulder,
Love it.
is looking down at you and is like, yeah, I mean, that's the circle for the globe, and then that's the theater. You gotta be careful with that one. I hear that one's got the opera space has a phantom problem. Oh, you guys are metal.
Pokey was pointing at himself as if to say, I am a fucking plant.
The Mossies spit out bits of metal.
Quite literally. Up top. Jam raises their hand for a high five with you, Mossies.
Oh, the Mossies.
With the Mossies. The Mossies are leaving Jam hanging.
I'm sorry, that was a Tom failure.
I thought the Mossies were ignoring, just like staring at the hand. Like
just leaving Jam hanging.
You know when you're playing like a Telltale game and you just don't process the timer ticking down to do something?
silence is an option.
It's like, oh wait, I'm supposed to be responding to this.
I thought it was on purpose.
The Mossies snap out of their stupor and are like, and they'll like stack themselves up to boop a face into the hands.
All right, yeah, cool. And as this person gets louder, sound waves start to shoot out around you. At least a couple windows start cracking. Well, it's not my prerogative to tell you guys where not to go, but I mean, the black box, it's a pretty dangerous place. Only the most dangerous and knowledgeable people go there, like the butcher. You don't want to get on the butcher's bad side, let me tell you that much.
Pokio, who wants to be a chef, quietly reaches into their cartoon pocket space and takes out their chef hat and puts it on. Pointing at it like, yes, butcher,
From like across the street, a rat like sees the chef's hat and huffs and walks the other way.
What a poser.
Oh dang, you guys got costumes? Well, what's the other costumes? Jam looks at the other two.
Malaya will throw some confetti on top of himself.
The Mossies take the piece of metal they spat out and put it on one of their heads as a hat.
Yeah.
Psalm.
Well, I mean, you guys sure you want to sign up for this? And I'm going to do, just because I know we got to stop soon, I'm going to do a scene transition. You are now in costume form as Jam has taken you to the Fair Theater District. You can hear this, like, deep chanting of a crowd hungry for violence. And Jam is taking you back, like, they don't got any rules for this fighting arena. There's no guarantee, I can't promise it's going to go one way or the other.
Is it cool?
From my knowledge, if you want to get information from the butcher, you gotta fight him. It's the only way he talks to anybody.
Pokio is nervously scanning the surroundings for any sign that Boidelrat might have been here at some point in time.
You notice little bits of plant-themed trash miscellaneously around the space.
Pokio very dramatically, puts a little hand up on their face. They do little fisticuffs. But then immediately followed by kind of like a shrinking, I am afraid kind of a thing.
Psalm. The Mossies just nod.
Malaya likes the fisticuffs.
And then just show teeth through their open mouths. Psalm.
Yeah.
But then Pokio's gonna zip, it's clear that Pokio supports the violence, but zips behind Malaya and Mossies because they are the attackmon. Pokio is the healer. So this is Pokio's way of showing support.
Yeah.
Zipping behind the big boys.
You hear sounds of violence, of slashing, of bludgeoning, of war, and eventually just in anguish, please, no more. You've won, Butcher, I swear. And this man, I'll just say out of character, it was Septimus Severus, just gets knocked back into the cage, which bends against him. It's similar to almost setting up for Irene the first time where there was the explosion, but this time a man is getting hurtled aggressively, violently against the cage. And a voice, Chaz would not announce this.
Just thinking, would Chaz be here? No.
I don't think Chaz would announce this. Do we have anyone who would announce this?
Just bring back the
singing telegram guy.
Hey, I got a divorce. I'm making money by doing this.
You hit him against the wall. He's got nothing.
He got back up.
He's bounced back from worse. Yeah, come on.
There's nothing else we can do to him that the world hasn't already done to him.
Right? And now he's here.
Get him back on his feet.
Well, hey, just like I lost my wife, and I lost my money, and I lost my toe, which is why I have to take this job. Septimus Severus has lost the match against the Butcher. Can no one defeat the Butcher? Well, maybe. And what are your wrestling names?
Oh man.
Turn them to mush. Mush.
Sous chef.
Irene.
That sounds so awful. No, I'm X-carding that.
I understand.
No.
I understand why now.
No.
It was good, and then yeah.
Stir fry.
We're really scrambling.
Ratatouille!
Just ratatouille!
The rat, also in the crowd, just flings down a pamphlet and storms out.
Perhaps Mush, the sous chef, and Stir Fry can. And The crowd is chanting for blood. You've been in Necromon arenas, but this is different. This is real. Necromon arenas are set up so that you have like res points. You never really get damaged, but this is real, genuine war against the most terrifying foe that all of the hereafter can provide. You walk up, and what do they see, Emily?
Recube.
No! What?
Oh!
What?
Oh.
Why are you here?
Oh, seesaw.
Oh, I did?
And you see a small book with hazardous, terrifying, torn out pages and a knife.
I got it up.
Well, yeah. Leia will make like a shape of Boidelrat and then cross and then a shape of Booker. Like we found the wrong one.
The Mossies are just banging on the cage, just like...
Let us out. What I love is that Booker is more powerful in an arena, but I think he's genuinely more threatening here because he has the thirst for blood.
A maybe is a yes that's not a yes yet. Don't put that. Irene knows what consent is. Cut that.
Yeah, when you said Booker was hiding, I just imagined him like in the fucking treetops.
I do kind of imagine Booker like seeming to hiss a little bit and like scuttling up into the tree.
It's terrifying.
He just likes to do that sometimes. He'll come down. Booker, just be careful to not get pine sap all over you.
He kicks a pine cone down.
Oh.
Walnut runs after the pine cone, wondering if it's a mon.
You're going to get it stuck in like the little folds of your page legs. I'll get the Q-tips.
Trying to cross his arms.
Yeah, are his arms big enough to cross, or is it just little?
No, that's why I said trying. Like, it's just...
T-Rex.
They just sort of like fold in together to the mushroom body.
God, I love it.
Yes, just like folded.
Stubby little nubbins. I would like to include the small detail of the Mossies for the last many miles have been riding on Malaya's head.
No!
Aww.
I love it. The sun twinging on them, so they don't fully burn, but they spark a little bit like 3 little candles on Malaya's hat.
Oh my god!
I was thinking they just look weirdly shriveled and prunish, just like, see, so.
All I can think of is the SpongeBob, I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it. But yeah, you get in the water and you puff up again.
Oh.
That was so coordinated. I'm so proud of us.
You enjoying yourself?
You're having a lot of fun with those maracas.
It's a pear. A pear maraca. Caraca.
Do you also have one?
I'm going to hate myself for this when I'm editing.
Rita brought me this from Cancun.
Nice.
She got everybody a different maraca from their honeymoon.
Because we've gone deep into Winnie the Pooh's grand adventure, I'm really appreciating that Pokio has become the rabbit of the group and Malaya the tigger.
Yeah.
That's so true.
That's accurate, actually.
And it's so cute.
So is Pokio Eeyore? Not Pokio.
The Mossies?
The Mossies, yeah, sorry.
I think the Mossies have to be Eeyore.
yeah, that's what I meant. The Mossies are Eeyore.